Yo, I'm Bob, totally blind since birth into Star Wars, talking about Season 3, Episode 1 of The Mandalorian on Disneyplus. This one's The Apostate, 17th chapter of the show overall. Spoilers ahead, watch the episode before listening to my thoughts jumping in, and you were warned. It is so good to have this show streaming once again on Disney Plus. I liked the Season 3 premiere quite a lot. I think when Jon Favreau writes Star Wars, it really feels like a kid sitting down and playing with Star Wars action figures. Putting the characters in all kinds of new and interesting situations. Just a vast and wonderful imagination inside this guy's head, as well as, Dave Filoni and all the other folks that work on the show. But I liked how the armorer shows up first and foremost in the season. And it feels like she's going to be playing a really crucial role. Whether she is a protagonist or antagonist, I feel is yet to be seen. I love that ceremony there. Of course, it got interrupted by the dinosaur turtle as the descriptive audio narration track called The Beast. And pretty cool fight scene there. I'm really glad that the folks over there at Plus are taking the time to fund these tracks. I would be so lost without it. Lots of capture cables being fired, or fiber cord whips if you want to call them those. Flamethrowers firing off. And of course you got Din flying in and blasting the creature all to blazes with proton torpedoes. Just a really fun action scene there as the episode opens. And when it comes to the big buffet table that is Star Wars these days, I like the flavor of The Mandalorian just as much as I like Andor. Andor, you have a spy thriller, an espionage kind of a show. But with Mando, you have straight up swashbuckling blockbuster level adventure, as the opening of the episode lets us know. I think it's going to be quite a wild ride this season. I like the exchange with Din and the armorer. Once again, she is showing her zealous side, and she is not letting him back into the fold until he redeems himself by bathing in the living waters in the mines of Mandalore. So I can't wait to get to Mandalore. So we get to go to Navarro after the little exchange with Din and the armor. I like the little cameo of the Purgil. Now, when I saw the episode, the track doesn't identify the species. It doesn't even say it looks whale-like. It is described as a celestial entity. So I first thought of the Celestials from Legends, the folks that built Centerpoint Station and other ancient devices. But no, they are Purgil, and I like seeing these guys show up. Of course, they were in Rebels, so cool seeing them here. They'll probably play a pretty crucial role at some point in the show. Either that or they're really setting things up for Ahsoka. Or both. So cool to see Grief Karga when we touch down on Navarro. I love Carl Weathers, seeing him showing up. He always has a ball with the show. You can really tell that. And finding out that IG-11's coming back was a bit of a shocker. Did not expect that because he's pretty much melted down into a statue. Try as they might, they can't get him operating. I love that scene where they take him to the Anzellans after he kind of goes nuts. And that scene with Grogu attempting to hug one of the Anzellans was one that really got a chuckle out of me. I wasn't expecting to laugh at it, but the way it was described, the way that the Anzellan, started saying "bad baby," "no squeeze," "you bad baby," things like that, really got a pretty good laugh out of me. An unexpected laugh, but I found it pretty funny. And the bit with the pirates getting all upset because they're not allowed to drink in a school also got a laugh out of me. I get the sense that these guys were the types of kids who got kicked out of school. They wanted to drink in school. They wanted to relive a childhood dream And, well, they didn't get to do that, so then they started causing trouble, and, of course, then he vaped them. Of course, that's probably not what was going through their heads at all, but I really got a kick out of that scene. Of course, Vane was the last one left. I love the dogfight in space there before Din goes to Kalevala. And seeing what the N1 starfighter can do was quite a scene. Of course, we got to see some of that in Book of Boba Fett, but watching it firing on the little pirate snub fighters was pretty cool. I liked Gorian Shard. I know he looks a bit non-Star Warsy to some. I first thought of, what was his name? He was a Nettie from Joe Schreiber's Red Harvest. He was a Sith. He probably isn't a Nettie at all, but when the descriptive audio narration track described his mossy hair, I was like, oh, is this guy a Nettie? Maybe. Probably not. Maybe his mama was a Nettie. I think Din should mock this guy later on and say his mama was a Nettie. That would be kind of cool. But he probably won't do it because Din's not a mocker. So I imagine we'll be seeing this guy showing back up. And then, of course, we have a very forlorn Bo-Katan at the end of the episode, and such a 180 with her character here. I cannot wait to see where they're going with this character. Of course, she's this way in the beginning of the episode, but I think once things start to happen, they're going to happen fast. And of course, she's going to be involved in whatever skirmish we see on Mandalore later on in the season. I feel like it is going to be quite the skirmish between Bo-Katan and the Armorer and poor Din and Grogu. They're going to be caught in the middle of it. I don't know if Din is going to want to be redeemed in the end. If Mandalore is a poisoned planet, as we've been told throughout the episode, it was also a poisoned planet in Legends, if you've read Legacy of the Force. I'm wondering if, Grogu might get sick. Din might have to choose Grogu over bathing in the waters and have to choose an entirely different way than his dogmatic way of the Mandalorian. Who knows what they're going to do? Hopefully he can be redeemed. Hopefully everybody will go home happy at the end of the season, but who knows in the end. I really enjoyed the premiere. When it comes to the buffet table of Star Wars, I love the flavor of Mando just as much as Andor. Cannot wait to see what they're going to do. I hope that we get to see some more IG droids this season. I don't know if we're going to be going to Halloween Labs from Legends. I don't know if we'll be seeing IG-88. I hope so. I kind of doubt it, but maybe. I would kind of love Din running into IG-88 at some point and having to, get into a tussle with him at some point. I don't really know why I'm wanting this, but he is another IG droid, and we haven't really seen very much of him at all in live action. I don't think we've seen any of him in animation, so kind of like to see Din running into one of the IG droids, IG-88B, I guess. I don't know what he's up to in the comics around this time because I can't read the comics in canon, so I'm trying to suss all that out in articles, but I kind of want to see IG-88. Anyway, that'll do for this premiere review of The Mandalorian. I would have posted this sooner, but I was in severe tooth pain last week, had a root canal yesterday. This is being filmed during the eve of Mandalorian Chapter 18, so sorry for the lateness of it. Hear you guys in the next one, and may the Force be with you.